While in residency, you began an e-commerce business, which ended up growing into a $1 million venture. What was the catalyst for combining your surgical career with entrepreneurship, and how did you balance the two?
Yeah, it was just bad decisions, I mean, but I was always interested in, sort of starting my own business. My parents had their own business. They owned just a motel and restaurant, and they kind of ran their own business, and I had been part of that for a really long time, and always thought, to myself, "Oh, that'd be kind of cool to have a business on the side." Well, you don't know what you're getting into in surgery and things like that. And then the old internet comes around, and sort of social media. Well, social media wasn't around really. I mean, I think it was just starting, but um sort of Google search was, getting a lot bigger, and I learned about sort of like AdWords and how the search engines worked, and I was like kind of fascinated. I was like, "Whoa, this is kind of cool. If I do these things, then I can be first on Google." And for, my keywords and stuff like that. And so I found um I found a course, like, that time it was like DVDs. You buy these DVDs, you watch them, and it teaches you sort of different levels of e-commerce, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I can do this, no problem." And then, halfway into it, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm an idiot." But anyway, I hired somebody to do the website and sort of put the store together, which I didn't know how to do, and then I just wrote my own articles and posted them everywhere, and I did SEO for this website, and just, was an affiliate.
So let's talk about your Bitcoin mining as well, another unconventional move for a surgeon. How did that venture influence your perspective on perhaps financial freedom within the healthcare system?
Yeah, that was just a sort of some luck or whatever. I went on a trip and I met this guy who was mining Bitcoin. I had actually tried to mine Bitcoin in 2011. I didn't even know what I was doing. It was an electronic coin, that I found, on whatever, just doing research, and I'm like, "Hey, I want an electronic coin." So I got this software and put it on my Mac, and and 5 days later, I didn't even have, like, point 0.3 or point 0.5 of coin. I was like, "Well, this is stupid, like, I just want 1 coin. How can I just get 1 coin?" Anyway, um, I just totally forgot about it. And that probably half a Bitcoin is floating out there somewhere on a, Mac desktop. But, so yeah, so I met this guy. He was mining Bitcoin, and doing it kind of like not individually. He was hiring companies to take care of his servers and things, and sort of pointing me in the right direction. I did my own research, and he connected me with a couple people that could take care of them, and things like that. So I got some options, and sort of looked at it for about a year or so, maybe more, and then ended up buying like probably like $250,000 of uh of Bitcoin mining machines. And then that was pretty lucky, honestly. I just bought them right before a big surge in the price. Didn't know anything about the, the price fluctuations, the cycle, the crypto cycles or Bitcoin cycles or everything like that, and just got super lucky. And then, once I did make some money and made a bunch of Bitcoin, and started learning about it more, uh, blockchain and the cycles and things like that, realized that um, I had really not looked at finance stuff, or investments very much. I had 401k and all the normal stuff, but outside of that, I really didn't know that world. And then I was like, wait a second. I just like did a 22x on my money over here. And how come nobody's telling me about this stuff?
And was that
Yeah.
pretty much your first exposure to some national media?
Yeah, really, that sort of kicked off my social media because, on that show, I started getting a lot of questions on Facebook of like, "Hey, I saw you on the show. Um, I want to ask you this question. I want to go into surgery. I live in the Philippines. I live in Nigeria. I was like, whoa, holy shit," because it went everywhere. And so then I just started answering those questions for those kids on YouTube, on Facebook, or whatever, and that's sort of what kicked everything off.